I've seen a lot of people recently on YouTube doing the 10 items that have helped them with Slimming World. So I thought I'd give it a go myself. So I've got 10 items that I want to show you. I could have done about 20 or 30. There are so many out there, but I managed to just about get it into 10 items. The 10 Slimming World essentials, basically. So let's get started. So, number one, everybody recognises this, good old food optimizing book. This is the Bible. This tells you everything you need to know. It's a good size to put in, obviously as female, to put in a handbag. So you can take it around with you when you go out. You can look at your eating out guides. You can also get things just from out and about. I always have it when I go shopping, so that I can get my free food. So I have my free food pages open and looking at the S's for the speed food, so I can make sure I've got some speed food in my flat, in my kitchen, in the drawers, in the cupboards, in the fridge, wherever I can put speed food. But also just making sure that I'm not mistakenly not having my speed food, if that makes sense. So I do buy stuff that's not speed food, but it just helps just to know that it's there, I can grab it, especially fruit. The fruit page, this page has just been used so much, you can see it's all dog-eared and Number two is actually yogurt, but not the Muller Lights, as everyone might expect. Anyone who's anyone, even people who've never done Slimming World before, know you can eat as many Muller Lights as you like, but there are so many others on the market that you can also eat sin-free. One that we found recently that's only come out recently is the Light and Free from Danone. These are sin-free. They're Greek-style yogurt. They've got this raspberry flavour. They've also got a strawberry flavour and a peach and passion fruit flavour I've seen. I've tried all three of those. They are delicious. They're a lot thicker than the Muller Lights. Yeah, they're just a little bit more satisfying, and they don't have the artificial sweetener taste that comes with Muller Lights. So number three is Mugshots and noodle pots. So I've sort of linked those two together. Obviously your 1% fat Mugshots are all sin-free. 2% ones, usually between 1 and 3 sins, but obviously you need to double check either on the app, in your book, or online. But also noodle pots. I'm someone who's really lazy, and I like to just, for lunch, when I'm going to work, be able to grab stuff out the cupboard and just go. Some of the noodle pots I've found have been Kabuto noodles, also naked noodles, and the Itsu noodles. Now these all range from sin-free up to about 3 or 4 sins, depending on which ones you get. I know the Itsu noodles, they do the classic chicken noodle pots. They do like the classic noodle pots, and then they also do ones with like quite fat noodles in, I guess you'd say. I'm not sure what they're called, but those are about 9 sins each, so you need to be careful with those. You need to just double check. With Kabuto noodles, which are my favourite ones at the minute, they do a couple of flavours that are sin-free. So prawn tom yum is sin-free. They've got quite a thin broth, but they've got so many noodles in there. They're really satisfying, really yummy. So number 4 is something a little bit different. It's along the drinks line. I found that when I started Slimming World, I was drinking an awful lot of like Diet Coke, Diet Lemonade, Pepsi Max, the flavoured Pepsi Maxes as well. They are full of artificial crap, basically. That's all I can say. They're chemicals. It's a bottle of chemicals. And yes, it's sin-free, and yes, you can drink as much as you like. But I wanted to find something that was just a little bit more comforting, a little bit more homely, something that I wasn't going to end up drowning in empty cans of drink. So I saw online a few people had tried the Twinings green tea in all different flavours. We've got this one, which is cherry bakewell, there's salted caramel, fudge melts, gingerbread, caramel apple. These are really good, especially if you're someone who doesn't like green tea. They don't taste of green tea, if that makes sense. And these ones come individually wrapped, so you can take them out anywhere. Cherry bakewell is my favourite. I have tried all the other flavours. Cherry bakewell is my favourite. It recommends to only brew for 2 minutes maximum, and I'm quite pedantic about that and will actually time it. So I will get my timer on my phone and time 2 minutes, which is really sad. But hey, the other brand which has recently started making flavoured green teas is PG Tips. Now this one, the lemon pie flavour, is amazing. It smells just like lemon meringue pie. Obviously with green teas you're not going to get a full-on flavour hit. It is quite a subtle flavour, but just smelling this one makes me happy. These ones aren't individual wraps, these are very much a home drink. They've got a little monkey on the string and then the pyramid shapes. But peach tips are definitely kind of a more delicate flavour. I've also got like a strawberry cupcake, which I've tried, and then there's an orange one, which I haven't tried yet. These ones are also slightly cheaper. The Twinings ones are usually something like $2.69 for 20 tea bags, whereas these are about $1.65, something like that. So these are a lot cheaper as well, and they just really satisfy that kind of indulgent drink. I guess that's what you call it. I don't know. Okay, so next on the list is actually a piece of equipment that I couldn't be without. I couldn't do Slimming World without these. So I've got my measuring spoons and my weighing scales. These are both vital for getting your measurements right. The amount of people who don't measure, especially their healthy extras, for example, but don't measure their healthy extras and then end up accidentally having like triple the amount. You know, you've just added like 12 cents to something that you should be able to just eat. So yeah, I always use proper measuring spoons rather than straight out my drawer, because then I know I can level it off and it's exactly the number that I want, so exactly match sins, whether what I'm measuring. And I use digital scales because obviously with stuff like your healthy bee choice, so if I use oats for my healthy bee choice, I can measure them exactly rather than kind of guesstimate on a manual where it's just got the little, yeah, they don't tend to come in like 35-gram things. And like with cheese as well, I can measure out my cheese properly and all that. So yeah, and I prefer a digital scale over manual. So next on my list is something that every single Slimming World person has ever seen, ever. Good old hi-fi bars. Now I always buy the hi-fi light bars because I can have 2 of those. And I'm not gonna lie, I always end up buying a box of Rocky Roads. No matter what other flavours are there, I always buy Rocky Roads because these just feel really naughty and really bad. I don't know, I think it's the marshmallows on top and the fact they're chocolate, and they just really have that proper chocolate hit. And I know I can have 2 of these as my healthy bee. And I've got a real sweet tooth and very much a sweet breakfast person. I usually have 2 of these for my breakfast, just because I get up late and we're straight out the door. So I take these with me. They're also really good for when we've gone out to like theatre and stuff or the cinema. I just shove a load of hi-fi bars in my bag. And I know that we've then got munches and nibbles if we want them, and we're going to either stay within our healthy extra range, or, you know, if we do have extra ones, or if we've had our healthy extra for the day, then I know that they're only 3 cents and I can keep a good control on them. So continuing on with the healthy extra bee choice, my next thing I've always got a bag of oats in my cupboard, because you can turn them into so many things. 35 grams of these and you've got your healthy extra. you've got your healthy extra B. You can turn it into baked oats. You can do overnight oats. I've actually make flapjacks with them. They're amazing. I love oats. I love porridge anyway. I don't tend to make porridge anymore. But yeah, you can use them in so many. They're just so versatile in what you can use them in. And yet you eat it and it's like, hey, this is my healthy bee. Great. So the next item has been dubbed a little bit of an obsession of mine. I know everybody has probably seen Choc. It's half a sin per teaspoon or 2 sins per tablespoon. I've gone one step further. Not only do I have Choc, I also have the coconut flavoured Choc. These are great, just drizzled over fruit or into some yogurt, or used to sweeten something that's meant to be a little bit chocolatey. Over hot chocolate, we've done them over pancakes. They're just amazing. They're so versatile. But then off the back of these, I then also got the fruit syrups. So we've got a light one, which is kind of a bit of like a golden syrupy flavour, and I've got a dark one, which is more of a treacly flavour. These can go into baking. When I first started drinking the green teas, I used this one to sweeten it. Same sin, so half a sin per teaspoon, or 1.5 sin, or 2 sins per tablespoon. And they're vegan as well. The chocolate ones are vegan too. But the ingredients literally say syrup made from natural fruit extracts, which are apples, grapes, and carob. Not sure what carob is, but apparently it's a fruit. That's it. That's all that's in it. You know, they're vegan, GM and gluten free, they're low in fructose. You don't need to keep them in the fridge, they last for ages. And you just put them in anything just to add that little bit of sweetness. Because sometimes you want like a little bit of sweetness, but you don't want to use sweetener because you don't want that aftertaste. I find that sweetener gives me that aftertaste. I'm not too keen on it. I can tolerate it. I know some people that can't stand it, but you know, for the sake of half a sin, I'd rather have something like this. So number 9 on the list is mini ice lollies. We keep these in our freezer all the time, and they're perfect just for when you just want something just to feel really naughty, especially now the weather's getting warmer and it's getting into summer, and you just want an ice cream or an ice lolly. We found the mini ones are really nice sins. We've got some mini fabs, which are 2.5 sins each, and mini twisters, which are 2 sins each. Now, they're really low in sins. They taste exactly the same as the full size versions, but with so much less guilt, and you can just you still feel like you've had an ice lolly or an ice cream when you've had one. They're so easy to just grab at the end of the day when you just need something sweet, just to get you through that 9 o'clock munches. It's a real thing. 9 o'clock munches. It hits 9 o'clock and I'm like, I need something to eat. They're perfect. And they sort me out. So the last thing on my list is social media. I'm very much a follower of people. I don't often post stuff. I've just started using Instagram. I've been following a few people for ages on it, and I decided to start posting a few photos. I'll post my handle below. And yeah, so you've probably already figured this is my first video, hence why it's a little bit rubbish. But never mind. I'm sure I'll learn to develop a few more skills. Hopefully I can edit it together nicely so it looks half decent. But yeah, I watch so many videos on YouTube of other Slither World members who just give such amazing advice, and a lot of the time they'll say stuff and you go, oh yeah, why didn't I think of that? So one that sticks out in my mind is YouTube channel Von Choc. She did a treat box where she literally had a great big box, filled it with Sind treats, of like however many sins she was going to have for treats on the day. So she'd already planned her dinner, knew how many sins she needed for that, knew how many sins she needed that day for her main meals, and then filled the box with the leftover sins. And it was a huge box with a few treats in the bottom, and then just filled the rest of it with free food that she could just go and grab. And it was all prepared, and that was amazing. I'd never thought of doing that. I'd heard of doing a treat box before, but it was more kind of doing a treat box for going out. So I know people who went and babysat or whatnot, and they could just have munches. I'd never thought of putting like my treat sins in the bottom of it. And she did put them in the bottom, so the first thing she grabbed was the fruit and the free stuff. So yeah, so following loads of people on YouTube and Instagram. I love Instagram. So many people will just post so many great recipe ideas, and even when they're out and about as well, you kind of Pret a Manger is the one that I've noticed has come up quite a lot as having some pretty good low sin or sin free stuff. So, and I'd have never thought. I mean, where I live, we have a Costa, and a lot of their stuff's quite high in sins, and I'd have just assumed that Pret was exactly the same, but it's not. So I now know when I go out, if I see one of those, chances are there's going to be something there I can eat, either sin-free or really low sins. So yeah, so social media is brilliant. We're in an age where social media is just everywhere. Everybody's got Instagram, everyone's got Pinterest. Pinterest, I love Pinterest. I am always getting recipes off of Pinterest. I go on and I just literally type in Slimming World recipes or Slimming World cakes when I had a real sweet craving. Just so much came up. And the only advice I give is just double check the sins before you commit to a recipe, because sometimes they are slightly older recipes with older sin values. I mean, I've had a couple where they've used, say, the Bachelor's pasta and sauce, which at one point were all free, but now some of them aren't, some of them are sins. So I've had to use sins occasionally, but just double check just so you don't get a massive shock. What other social media got? Blogs. I love blogs. There's a blog called Slimming World Survival. She's brilliant. She's just got loads of like information pages. So I know that when I'm out and about, I can access what free foods. She's got lists of free foods and speed foods. So I can access the speed food lists when I'm out and about. If I'm, popping in somewhere going, oh, I'll just grab this. The other one I follow is Two Chubby Cups. They are hilarious. They are absolutely brilliant. They've got quite a specific sense of humour. If you can't laugh at Slimming World, then they're probably not for you. Yeah, they have got quite a, what's the word I'm looking for? Quite a specific sense of humour. I think they're hilarious. And then one of the first pieces of social media I found when I started Slimming World was the Sin Bin on Facebook with Tom Law. No, I think his name is. I can't remember. But he's on Facebook. I followed him on YouTube. He's got some brilliant recipes. He does a brilliant rice pudding recipe, which is basically 3 cups of almond milk, 1 cup of pudding rice, and you simmer it, and then you just sweeten it to taste with your sweetener. He adds a little bit of cinnamon. I missed that bit out, but it's just so easy and just tastes amazing. And you'd have never ever thought that was a Slimming World recipe. So I hope you've enjoyed these 10 things. Hopefully there's been a couple of new things for you that you might not have thought of. A lot of them were quite kind of old favourites that a lot of people know about, but they're old favourites for a reason. They're old favourites because they work, because people love them. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you'd like any other videos like this, or what other kinds of videos you'd like in the future. And I shall see you all soon. Bye!